Bolela kudu. Yeah. No. Ba mo yishitse. No. Nyala mosadi wa gago re bone re a ka go tlogela. Ora gore mma go bona ga ile society ke shetse le bana ba swere ke tlala. Ke skebe ka apia. Skebe ka apia ke re le gore nna ba ntshitse. No, nyala re bone gore wena bana ba swantse ke go nolla the whole day o re o tshaba gore ba tlo ba go yishitse. No, le bolela good.
Men from the north. Yeah, Banna ba Limpopo. He is doing a great job, and he reminds me back in the days, I've learned how to cook from the early age. And I just realized that, the only problem about this video is fire is too much. It's a bit high. He shouldn't have that too much fire. And the technique, man, pizza, I think it's size 2. And also, it's using dry food. And I like the way he's balancing with that stick. It's how... Is there any dry food? Yeah, there is dry food there. There is dry food there. You can see the other 2 pots are on the side and Chechisa is on the other side there. And he's also using that horn to balance the pot. But you can tell that it's been a while, since this gentleman cooked. And he is mentioning that, people are saying, Korobela, he is not supposed to be cooking. But, he's a responsible father. He said, his wife went to society and he cannot even wait until she comes back. He is a father who cares for his children. So he has to do something. And he decided to cook so that the kids can eat, since he is a responsible parent. And he is saying, if you think by doing this, my wife put the love potion, also, get married. And let's see if maybe you can stick around, or you can just chill and watch your children, crying because of they're hungry and their mom is not around. He's taking over as a father and making sure that he's cooking pap and his kids will eat. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I grew up cooking. I learned how to cook from the early age. I was staying there, without... We were like, there were periods whereby we stayed there without, my mom was not there. We were only staying there with my aunt, and, she will go wherever she goes, and we have to learn how to cook. And she kept on telling us that, if you don't learn how to cook, you will sleep hungry if you don't learn how to cook. You should learn how to cook in case I'm not around. You have to know that you can cook for yourself. And obviously, that's how I learned. Even cleaning, even doing stuff. Even now, I'm still benefiting from that. There are certain stuff when, our elders or our family members, when they teach us when we are young, we don't get it immediately. We think maybe, they are supposed to be the ones who are doing this type of stuff for us. But later on, man, I do my own washing, I clean, I cook, I do stuff because I've learned how to cook. And sometimes I'm eating people's food and I'm like, bruh. Or even the lady, I'm like, this is bad, And I remember when I was staying at this other place, Johannesburg, I was renting there. So I was sharing an apartment with 3 ladies, and they were from Lesotho, 2 of them, and the other one was a Zulu lady. And they used to have this thing called Perfect Sishevo. The show was on TV, and they will compete. The landlord was from Northwest. She was a Tswana. The Tswana girl cannot cook. She was making it clear that I'm a office type of a girl. I don't know how to cook. I order food. The Sotho girls, they were the ones who were cooking there. And the Zulu kind of a girl, she was good with meat, and she was competing with meat. It was a great competition, because I remember, they were saying, when it comes to pap, we give it to you. We know you can cook pap, and we would like to learn, how to cook pap. But when it comes to Sisheba, just sit down, and we are the queens. And that was the case. When it comes to Sisheba, they were very good. And it was a very good environment. It was a very good environment where I was staying, man. Yeah, man. So this gentleman, when he's cooking like this, he reminds me back in the days. And also at Val, we used to cook with fire, and we had no women to cook for us there. We had to cook for ourselves. And I cooked once, and everybody was like saying, no, you should be the one who's cooking, because of my pap was always solid. And obviously, you know, Sisha, but sometimes we just cook cabbage and we put oil, we don't put spices. It has to be, but I always believed in everything must be overcooked, especially when repertory dialogue, it has to be overcooked. Even if it's sugar beans, they must be overcooked, whereby I would just smash them with wooden spoon. If I'm cooking cabbage, it has to be overcooked. If we're cooking that morojo, it has to be over. I believe in that. So those who have dental problems, they can easily eat also. If I'm cooking marapo, they have to be overcooked so that people can enjoy food. It's always nicer to eat something which is overcooked than something which is less cooked, especially, guys like us who are doing some spiritual stuff. Even if when I'm doing eggs, if I'm making my eggs and they are bit half done, I will never eat them, because for me they're still raw. They have to be cooked and get into this other side of their little bit overcooked, not fried. That's how I enjoy them. The same way you're doing, your normal bread when your normal eggs when you are having them with bread. So I'm that kind of a guy. Same thing like meat. You have to cook that thing. Let it go on the other side, whereby it's overly cooked. Then I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So this gentleman, man, reminds me good old days. Because at home in the rural areas, man, we cook with electricity. But to save electricity, we normally use firewood. We go to the forest and get firewood there. Or sometimes maybe these guys, the donkey cart boys, they are the ones who are doing delivery. Or else you can just get, a truck. Mostly when there is ceremonies there, we buy extra firewood so that it can last for longer. So that's how it is. And when I see him cooking like that, it's not like there is no electricity. But at home, people still prefer to cook with firewood because the food tastes different than the one that you cook with electricity. If you have eaten both, you will know what I'm talking about. And I appreciate you guys showing me love and support, man. I just saw this gentleman, and he reminded me, man, from the north. Because in Limpopo, we cook. In Limpopo, we don't wait for ladies to come and cook for us. If they're not there, they're not there. We are going to cook. And I see a lot of gentlemen till this day, they're still struggling when it comes to pot. They are struggling a lot, and people have to go and buy takeaways. But if ulemoto peta, you have to learn how to cook for yourself. Because certain types of food that we get outside there, man, it's just horrible. Because, people are running businesses, and you will never know what they do before they start cooking, and you'll never know what they're mixing. It's just that, and that's why, man, things like restaurants, I'm not the restaurant type of a guy. I'm very, very selective. I will just go once in a while simply because of sometimes I have to be a human. When I go out with somebody, I just have to be there, and I'll be very careful of what I'm ordering there. But it is what it is, and I appreciate you guys showing me love and support. I just wanted to speak about this. This is the true definition of the man from the north. Manna Mopedi. Thank you.